Hi Virgo, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. We just finished eclipse season. You had a new moon solar eclipse occur in your sign. And then you had two lunar eclipses as well in other signs, but it still affected you and everybody else on the planet. So how are you doing? I hope you're well. Why don't you sit a spell so we can talk about the stars? Virgo, I released an end of September, beginning of October new moon video for the 8 degrees new moon in Libra. This video will cover where the planets are on the 1st of October and talk about any sort of big shifts until the full moon, which is on the 16th. And I'm also going to highlight a week after that. So let's get to it. On October the 10th, the sun will be in your second house. Mercury will be in the 1st, Venus will be in the 3rd, Mars will be in the 5th, Jupiter will be in the 2nd, Saturn will be in the 4th, Uranus will be in the 8th, Neptune will be in the 7th, and Pluto will be in the 5th. On October the 8th, Mercury, the planet of thought, movement, and communication, moves into your second house. And the second house is where the Sun and Jupiter are right now. So it's got a lot of buoyant energy in it. And the second house is ruled by Taurus. It's another earth sign, so you should be feeling the flow pretty good there. The earth sign, Taurus, that house is the house of your values. The second house is the house of your money, possessions, your earning ability, and your self-esteem. Anything that you would point to and say, mine, would probably apply. On the 16th of the month, we have the full moon occurring in the 8th house. So, full moon is going to be at 23 degrees of Aries. And the Sabian symbol for 23 degrees of Aries reads, blown inward by the wind, the curtains of an open window take the shape of a cornucopia. A cornucopia is also known as a horn of plenty, which is a symbol of prosperity and abundance and having all of the things that you need to sustain yourself. When I was meditating on this Sabian symbol, I thought of two different things. They sound the same, but they have differences. The first being, a situation arises that is shocking and surprising, and it is so shocking and so surprising that you go inwards, you introvert. And in your introversion, you realize that you have a wellspring of strength that is there to sustain you and help you through this period of time. The second would be a situation that is shocking and surprising, that literally blows you down or blows you away, but in the after the impact of this situation, whatever it is, there's a blessing, a gift, or some sort of prosperity and abundance that comes with it. Now, for the October surprise is really what I should call it, because we all know, the majority of people have heard of the term the October surprise, and that's when some stuff hits the fans in October. Well, I think the week of that will be October 17th through the 23rd, because, well, there's going to be a powerful conjunction between Mars and Pluto the entire month, but this full moon is really going to trigger it and set it off. There's a YouTube astrologer that I follow who's very well seasoned. His name is Steve Judd, and he's an astrologer from the UK, and he issued a heads-up warning for this time, and if he thinks that it's important enough to mention it, then I want to pass it along to you as well as a very important time frame for us to pay attention to. You might want to go ahead and write it down in your calendar that that's going to be some crazy energy going on for everybody. It'll be a time where we need to take our time, breathe, and be on our best behavior, because not everybody else will be. This full moon is going to be playing out in different areas of your chart. Let's talk a little bit about that. The full moon is going to be in your 8th house, and the 8th house is the house of Scorpio. That's the house of life, death, rebirth, that entire cycle, sexuality, other people's money, primal or basic instincts, and transformation, metamorphosis, and regeneration. You're also going to be having that energy play out in your 5th house where Mars and Pluto are, and that is the house of your children and romance and creation. There's also going to be energy playing out in your 2nd house because that's where the sun is, and that's the house of your values. Your possessions, your earning ability, your self-esteem, your possessions, the things that are yours, and your money. So this could be a big deal for you. I don't see where it would be such a bad idea to try to get a lottery ticket because all of this is really good energy. I think it would be even better energy if you were to have your partner buy a lottery ticket. It would just possibly be a good time, especially if they're an Aries. If they're an Aries, because Mars, and if they're a Scorpio especially, and if you've got somebody in your world that's an Aries and a Scorpio, yeah, they need to possibly think about trying this out. Maybe go buy a lottery ticket, and if you win any money, let me know about it. That'd be awesome. But that's what I'm seeing play out, really. It's a powerful time, but powerful isn't something that... I'm a nervous person to begin with, so I'm always going to see things probably glass half empty. That's the way that my life has been so far, and I'm trying to change my perspective, but still understand but a lot of stuff that's happened to me, so I view the world through a specific lens. And when I view the world through a specific lens, I'm also sharing that lens with y'all. Doesn't always mean things are going to be negative. It's just going to be a very passionate and powerful time. But hell, if you win the lottery, it's going to be passionate and powerful, huh? 8th house, other people's money. 5th house, dealing with, that's where gambling in the lottery is. So, and you just had Jupiter leave your sign. Maybe a little bit of that residual good luck energy. Who knows? Alright, y'all, I'm going to grab my tarot and my oracle cards, and I'm going to read for you. I'm going to pull from the Stacey DeMarco Halloween Oracle deck. I'm also going to be pulling from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. The artwork is by Autumn Sky Morrison, and it's a real fan favorite amongst those who watch this channel regularly. So, hang tight, Virgo. I'll be right back with your cards. Hey, Virgo. I'm back with the cards. I was shuffling and meditating over them off camera, asking for the general messages for my Virgo friends for this October full moon. Okay. Alright, y'all. I'm going to take the bottom card for the underlying theme or the overarching energy, and the top 3 for clarity. I'm going to pull from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck next by Elena Fairchild. The artwork is by Autumn Sky Morrison. Okay, I'm going to cut. I'm going to pull the top and the bottom from this deck. And now from the Stacey DeMarco Halloween deck. I'm going to cut. And again, I'm going to pull the top and the bottom card from this deck. Alright, Virgo, I'm going to flip these cards, do the house numerology, addition, and all of that stuff. I'll be right back with your messages. Hang tight, y'all. Hey Virgo, I'm back with your cards, so let's get started. The first, or the underlying theme, the overarching energy that you received, is the Hanged Man upright. This is the 12th card of the Major Arcana. The 12th card represents, to me, the 12th house, which is ruled by Pisces. That is the house of your limitations, your repression, the house of karma, secrets that you keep from yourself, secret enemies, the dreams that you have, the dream space. It's also self-undoing and secret enemies. The Hanged Man as a Major Arcana card represents the planet Neptune, which is dealing with spiritual things, spiritual matters. Neptune is in Pisces. You may be dealing with a Pisces or somebody who has heavy Neptunian energy. For me, this card is, when I do a reading for myself and I see this card, it reminds me that I need to do some more yoga. I need to get my behind on the yoga mat. It also indicates a need for a new perspective and a balanced perspective at that. It also could be reaching enlightenment by viewing things through a different perspective, or gaining enlightenment by viewing things through a different perspective. Neptune for you, though, is in the 7th house, and this could be playing out in your 7th house. You could be having a spiritual situation play out in your house of partnerships and how you identify with others, or you could be having a you could be going through counseling because of some sort of spiritual wounding. And this might be seeing your enemies in a different light. The first card in the top 3 for clarity is the King of Wands in reverse. The King of Wands is a mature fire sign energy. It does not have to be a male, but because it's represented as a king here, I would tend to say that it is masculine fire energy. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. It can be their sun, moon, or rising sign. You will not know that unless you've looked at their chart or they shared that information with you. The King of Wands is known for being impatient, imprudent, impractical. They can be courageous, fierce, and forceful. They can be egocentric. The fact that he's in reverse, it could be that this person is being very reactionary and not thinking from a balanced perspective, or needing more balance to get a better perspective, or they don't have the appropriate perspective, and this card is showed up in the overarching theme to say, hey, you're going to need a different perspective. You're going to need to view this situation through a different lens. It does not have to be you. It can be somebody that you're dealing with. It really just depends. The next card that you got is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is also in reverse, and the way that they're showing up in the reading is they're in reverse and they're going head to head. So this could be a really nasty argument where neither one of you, or neither one of the people involved, situations involved, are coming from a balanced perspective. The Knight of Cups is not the youngest, but I would say mid-20s to mid-30s if it is a person. The king is in their 30s or older. The cups represent water sign energy. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. You have that Neptune in Pisces with the Hanged Man showing up. It could be that you need to look at this Knight of Cups situation from a different perspective. I see it being an argument between, it's an emotional argument because you're going head to head, or the King of Wands and the Knight of Cups are going head to head, and it looks like it is playing out in either subconscious or in your sleep or in your mind somehow. It could be an argument, just very mundane. It could be an argument about politics or this election season. Yeah. Red and blue. Arguing from their own perspective. But needing to see a new one. And this dude's wearing red and blue. I mean, I'm just saying. It could be. That's one of the messages that I'm getting. The Nine of Swords upright. This is insomnia. This is not able to sleep either by means of nerves or anxiety or just you can't for whatever reason. You're up late at night worrying about something, stressed about something. Once again, I haven't mentioned the air signs. The swords represent air sign energy, and the air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So you may be dealing with a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. If it's not that, then this is an argument that's most likely occurring online. The ninth house represents the Sagittarius-ruled ninth house, so you may be dealing with this King of Wands showing up as a Sagittarius. The ninth house rules your long-distance trips. It rules your philosophy and your religion and the study of those things. It covers the study of astrology. It covers legal system matters. It covers foreign people, foreign places, foreign things, adventures, and questing as well. It's a lot. It's your view of the... It's your... how am I trying to say this? It's your view of the world expanded. It's your worldview broadened. So yeah, I did the math on this tarot spread with the 12 for the Hangman and the 9 for the Nine of Swords. That is 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. And we have a lot of energy moving into your third house after this full moon. The Sun, Mercury, and a new moon will all be occurring within a week's time. After, it'll be between the 23rd of the month and the 30th of the month. A lot of third house energy. The third house is ruled by Gemini. That could be an air sign also that you are dealing with. The third house is the house of communication, short distance trips, siblings, cousins, and neighbors. Communications can be how you speak, how you're understood, and how you understand others. It can also cover your commute or the vehicle that you commute to work or around in. Yeah. For your Halloween Oracle deck, the first card that you got was the Jack-o'-lantern card, and this is a card of protection. And jack-o'-lanterns were used as a means for illuminating the path to keep people safe during Halloween in days of old. But this card represents protection. I think it also indicates a need for you to examine, maintain, and respect your boundaries and those around you. If you have somebody getting in your lane, you need to get them out of your lane. But you need to stay in your own lane too. That was the first card. The second card is the Spider card, which is a, on the bottom it reads community and web weaving. For me, it represents communication, and I can't help but think of the World Wide Web when I see this card. I also want you to look up what the spiritual symbology for the spider animal totem means, so you can Google that. I also think that this means that you need to practice balance, like you're trying to balance on a web, balance on a string, even more so with the Hanged Man right here, a need for balance. The Spider card, I think, is speaking very strongly to communication, and that was the third house energy that was really being reverberated through this tarot spread. You need to examine the way that you speak and the way others understand you. You need to, and if you're being misunderstood, you need to reform the way that you speak or redo it, reassess it somehow. But you also need to have respect in communication. And to do that, people think that communicating is just talking and listening, but there's more to it than that. There's really an art to communication. To communicate effectively, you need to be able to speak your piece, do it concisely and effectively, but you also need to be able to listen. And listening is not waiting for your turn to speak. Listening is actively listening and digesting what is being said, critically disseminating the information, and then asking questions or asking for further clarification or giving your analysis of how you've interpreted the information thus far. It's not waiting for your turn to speak. It's actually communicating. It's the exchange of ideas. Ideas, not I thinks. The next card that you receive from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck is the Receiving card. I can't help but notice that full moon in the background. Could be indicative to the energy surrounding you. The Receiving card makes me want to tell you that it's time for you to sit, for you to stop, sit and breathe. That you need to replenish yourself. You need to nourish yourself. You need to rest. You need to put time into meditation and yoga. You've been expending too much energy and not filling yourself back up. And people will not go to an empty well. They can't. You have to sustain yourself before you can sustain others. It's that very real world principle of you have to put the oxygen mask on you first before you can help anybody else. You could be receiving messages, and it could be intuitive because her eyes are closed and the full moon is a time for that sort of thing. The 27th card of the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck, 2 plus 7 is 9. The 9th house is the Sagittarius ruled house of long-distance trips, higher education, questing, philosophy, religion, foreign people, foreign places, and foreign things. The next card that you received is Diving for Light. This is the 11th card of the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck, and that speaks to the Aquarius ruled house of your future wishes, goals, and dreams. I think of the 11th house and I think of the bucket list. It's also your friends, your groups, and the associations and memberships that you belong to. You also may want to look up what the seahorse spiritual animal totem meaning means, because they are prominent in this art as well. And I think that whenever animals like that show up prominently in these oracle cards, it is a message for you to further deliberate on. The Diving for Light card makes me want to tell you that it is always darkest before dawn. That you need to acknowledge and or recognize your dark side, and if you need to clear the air about some things that you may have done on the down low or something to that effect, that the full moon is going to expose it. So you better be sure as to how you're going to communicate what's going on. You need to stay in love and stay in compassion and stay in light, or in the light, but you also need to understand that a spiritual test is unfolding before you, and that the only way that you are going to be able to pass this is by finding the light in the situation. I also think hot baths would really, or hot water would really be very, very nice. A soothing way to help play with the energy that's at hand for this full moon in Aries. Because the moon represents water signs, or the water energy. The moon controls the tides. The moon controls the water on the earth. And this is going to be in a fire sign, a fiery part of the sky. So hot water would probably be very therapeutic. Virgo, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, thank you so much from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I'll be back around closer to the mid part of the month for the rest of your October forecast. But until then, take care of yourself. Please be kind to yourself and employ your self-care measures. We're all a little sensitive. It's hitting us in very private parts of our charts. And some people are going through struggles that they'll never speak about to another living person. So tiptoe gently in the lives of others, Virgo. Take care of yourself, and namaste, y'all.